Welcome to this deep dive into the ongoing efforts and complexities surrounding the potential accountability of Vladimir Putin for alleged war crimes in Ukraine. This topic is rich in detail and involves numerous international legal, political, and procedural challenges, which we will explore thoroughly. Whether Vladimir Putin will be held accountable for his actions is fraught with complexities. Putin's current position as the leader of Russia provides him with significant protection against prosecution. Russia's refusal to recognize the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court (ICC), which has issued an arrest warrant for Putin, complicates efforts to bring him to justice through this international body. His role as a sitting head of state offers a degree of immunity within his own country and shields him from extradition. Moreover, Putin is unlikely to travel to jurisdictions where he could be arrested, making international legal proceedings against him even more challenging. Building war crimes cases against high-ranking officials like Putin is inherently complex and time-consuming. These cases require an extensive collection of evidence to establish a clear link between the senior leaders and the specific crimes committed by their subordinates. The historical precedent for such prosecutions shows that it often takes decades to gather the necessary evidence. During this time, the perpetrators and victims may pass away, further complicating the process. Despite these obstacles, significant efforts are underway to gather evidence and prepare for potential future prosecutions. Ukrainian investigators, along with international teams and various organizations, are actively documenting evidence of war crimes in Ukraine. The ICC's arrest warrants for Putin and others signal the beginning of a long legal process, highlighting the international community's commitment to seeking justice. Discussions about creating a special tribunal to prosecute the crime of aggression related to Russia's invasion of Ukraine are ongoing. Such a tribunal could provide a more targeted legal framework for addressing these crimes, though its establishment and operation would require significant international cooperation and political will. Ukraine's Prosecutor General, Andriy Kostin, has expressed a firm belief that Putin will eventually be prosecuted and tried. Kostin emphasizes the importance of meticulously documenting all available evidence to build a strong case for the future. His stance underscores a long-term perspective, recognizing that while immediate accountability may be unlikely, sustained efforts to gather and preserve evidence are crucial for eventual prosecution. The impact of international sanctions on Russia and Putin's movements provides another dimension to this issue. While sanctions have not immediately halted Russia's military activities, they have significantly strained the Russian economy. These measures force Russia to seek alternative sources of technology and goods, which often involve complex and less efficient procurement processes. Countries like China, Taiwan, and South Korea have become crucial for Russia's supply chain, but even these relationships face limitations and challenges. Russia has managed to evade some sanctions by using methods like a shadow fleet to transport oil to markets in Asia, such as India and China. Despite these evasions, the long-term economic outlook for Russia is increasingly bleak. The focus on military production is distorting the economy, diverting resources in unsustainable ways. Additionally, major Chinese banks have recently ceased doing business with Russia, and other countries like Turkey, the UAE, and Cyprus are severing financial ties or intensifying efforts to enforce sanctions. The cumulative effect of these sanctions is beginning to manifest in more pronounced ways. Financial strain is evident in actions such as the revocation of Kiwi Bank's license in Russia and the complex financial engineering required to maintain economic stability. These developments indicate mounting pressure on Russia's economy and suggest that the full impact of sanctions will be more strongly felt in the long term. The role of the Clooney Foundation for Justice (CFJ) and its initiative, the Docket, is pivotal in these efforts. The Docket has been instrumental in gathering and presenting evidence of alleged Russian war crimes. Their approach involves conducting on-the-ground investigations in Ukraine, working with local and international partners to collect and analyze evidence, and preparing detailed legal cases. This evidence includes testimonies, documents, media reports, and visual documentation, all meticulously collected to build a comprehensive case. CFJ has submitted cases to German federal prosecutors, invoking the principle of universal jurisdiction, which allows countries to prosecute international crimes committed elsewhere. This principle is crucial for addressing war crimes when the perpetrator's home country, like Russia, is unwilling or unable to prosecute. Germany's robust legal framework and its active role in international justice make it a strategic starting point for these prosecutions. The German prosecutors' work, combined with the efforts of CFJ and other international bodies, forms a robust network of accountability mechanisms. These efforts contribute to building a comprehensive case against Putin and other high-ranking Russian officials. The ICC, while limited in some respects, remains a key player in this process, having already issued arrest warrants and continuing to gather evidence. The potential consequences for Russia if Putin is prosecuted are significant. Diplomatic isolation would likely increase, as countries adhering to international legal standards would be obligated to arrest Putin if he enters their territory. This would further weaken Russia's global influence and complicate its foreign relations. Economically, prosecution and continued international condemnation could lead to more stringent sanctions, exacerbating the existing economic challenges and deterring foreign investment and trade. Politically, such a prosecution could destabilize Putin's regime, potentially leading to internal power struggles and a leadership crisis. Historical precedents show that international legal actions against leaders like Sudan's Omar al-Bashir and Serbia's Slobodan Milosevic eventually contributed to their political downfall. These cases illustrate the potential for international justice to influence domestic political dynamics. Legally, prosecuting Putin would set a significant precedent, reinforcing the principle that no leader is above international law. This could have a deterrent effect on other potential aggressors and strengthen the global commitment to accountability for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Morally, it would send a powerful message about the international community's dedication to justice and the rule of law. Enforcing such a prosecution remains a formidable challenge. Russia's non-membership in the ICC and its veto power in the UN Security Council complicate enforcement efforts. The process of gathering evidence, building a case, and prosecuting a sitting head of state is lengthy and fraught with obstacles. Nonetheless, the ongoing efforts to document and investigate alleged war crimes are crucial for laying the groundwork for future accountability. In summary, while the immediate prosecution of Vladimir Putin for alleged war crimes in Ukraine faces significant legal, political, and practical challenges, the sustained international efforts to gather evidence and build legal cases are essential steps toward potential future accountability. The cumulative impact of these efforts, combined with the long-term economic and political pressures on Russia, could eventually lead to a reckoning for Putin and other high-ranking officials involved in the conflict. Thank you for joining us on this in-depth exploration of the complexities surrounding the potential accountability of Vladimir Putin for alleged war crimes in Ukraine. Your continued interest and support are vital as we navigate these intricate and evolving stories. If you found this discussion enlightening, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing it with others who seek to understand the nuances of this significant issue. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we will continue to bring you the latest developments and in-depth analysis from Ukraine and beyond. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep listening.